representative from the United Nations Forum on Forest, Mr. Sayam Podel, representative from the UNDP Super Office, representative from the Food Agriculture Organization, representative from the regional organizations, development partners, and non-government organizations, representative from the government agencies, government ministries, and statutory bodies, representatives from the private sectors and financial institutions, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Nisambula Binaka, and a very good morning to you all. I'm honored to be here at this important workshop, turning the tide to deforestation, building partnerships to combat impacts on climate change, forest fires, and zoonotic diseases. We are united by our shared commitment to protect our forests and create a sustainable future for our planet. Fiji's forests are essential for our country's development. They support rural livelihoods and provide many important services. Our forest covers about 1.1 million hectares, making up to 60% of Fiji's land area. These include 90% natural forests, terrestrial mangroves, and 10% plantation forests, pine, mahogany, and community plantings. Protecting, enhancing these forests is crucial for survival and for the future generation. According to the Fiji National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan 2020-2025 report, Fiji has 23 protected terrestrial areas covering 50,000 hectares. About 70% of these areas are in Viti-Levu, with the rest in Vanua-Levu and Taveuni. The Fiji National Environment Strategy lists 140 sites of national significance that needs formal protection. In 2008, Fiji established a National Protected Areas Committee, PAC, which identified priority locations for protection. Our National Development Plan aimed to increase forest conservation from 3% in 2015 to 5% in 2021, and to 16% by 2036. At COP26 in Glasgow, Fiji committed to increase forest protection by 2030. From 2013 to 2022, the Ministry of Forest spends around $31 million of forest land restorations, with over 55% on REDD+ activities. The management of Fiji forests has shifted towards providing ecosystem services, conserving biodiversity, and supporting rural livelihoods, poverty alleviations, and food security. Sustainable land management practices have reached rural communities through various projects such as ecosystem-based management, EBM, Reach to Reef Integrated Coastal Management, ICM, and 30 million tree planting program. These projects unite communities to address negative impacts of land uses, create action plan incorporating climate change adoption and disaster risk reduction. Despite these efforts, more resources, skills, and capacities are needed. The United Nations Forum on Forest, UNFF, Secretariat highlighted the challenges in accessing international forest financing, such as governance issues, weak project proposal development, under resource utilization, and flawed policies. Fiji faced similar challenges, compounding priorities in health, education, and public utilities. This workshop should discuss these issues and propose short-term and long-term solutions. I urge you to fully utilize the UN Forest Financing Facilities network. Balancing economic development and environmental protection is crucial. Sustainable economic development brings long-term prosperity and improved living standards. Key drivers of Fiji economic growth include an expanding economy, improved infrastructure, growing digital connectivity, a young population, a significant contribution from agriculture and forestry, and engaging key financial institutions, training institutions, and the private sector is essential, despite the commercial focus of the private sector. Innovative approaches are needed, and collaborations is vital. The timber industry remains important for Fiji's development, and forest plantations produce the timber needed for housing, furniture, and related industries. Fiji is developing a planted forest policy to ensure tree planting activities contribute to sustainable development goals. These workshops aim to develop a national forest restoration framework for Fiji. Success will depend on building on past efforts, empowering communities, identifying and addressing barriers, tailoring solutions to our context, effective implementation by the government ministry, stakeholders collaboration, and meeting community expectations. Our next 3 days, we will examine sustainable forest management, ecosystem restoration, and forest financing in Fiji. We will identify gaps and opportunities to develop strategies for improved resource mobilization. Experts will share their knowledge on topics such as forest financing conservation, community engagement, and successful initiatives. Our goal is to develop the nation forest restoration plan and work frame for attracting investment in forest landscape restorations, aligning with the UN strategic plan for forests and the 2030 agenda. Thank you for your dedication and commitment. Your participation over the next 3 days is crucial for the shaping and sustainable future of our forests, our nation, and the world. Let's work together to turn the tide on deforestation and build a resilient, sustainable landscape for future generations. Thank you, and vinagabali besar.